Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. Amityville, The Awakening is a 2017, well, I say 2017 movie. This was actually a movie that was made several years ago and has had production issues for some time, and it's been reshot here, there and everywhere, but it's finally getting its release now. So it's Amityville, The Awakening, and it stars Belle Thome, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Cameron Monaghan and Kurtwood Smith. Now, quite a decent cast there. And this is a film that has had, you can see when you watch it, a fairly sizable budget thrown at it. And my understanding is it was intended for a theatrical release, but it's never actually been given one. It's just direct to DVD, video on demand sort of thing. And it is the first Amityville movie, proper Amityville movie where the house is involved, since the Amityville Horror remake in 2005 that starred Ryan Reynolds, that wasn't particularly well received. And this movie focuses on this family that moves into the Amityville home. Jennifer Jason Leigh is the mum, and she has two daughters, Belle, who's a teenager, and a younger daughter, but also she has a son, played by Cameron Monaghan, who you may recognise from Gotham, the TV show Gotham. And he is in a coma, essentially, and he's receiving palliative care at home. So he has his own room downstairs and a bedroom along the side, and he remains in a coma. And what we learn while watching the movie is, while they're actually at the house, the son, who's in a coma, starts to slowly recover and get better. As each day and week goes on, he starts opening his eyes, being able to breathe for himself. Then he's starting able to talk by using computer technology, by looking at screens and spelling things out. And all the while, her friends at school keep reminding her of where she is living, because she has no idea of what this house is and how famous it is. And they do something, I won't say unusual, it's been done before in movies like this. They try and be a bit meta here, in a sense of the characters, their friends at school, start showing her the Amityville Horror movie, the original, and the book, the Amityville Horror book, and they start talking about how rubbish the remake was, and all this kind of stuff. And they basically put the wind up her by saying, the house is cursed and it's haunted and it's evil, blah 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 blah. But these things start happening at the house. Supernatural events start happening. Unusual things start happening, and the daughter Belle starts to suspect that actually the house may well be cursed. And the red room, the infamous red room associated to the Amityville house, is directly underneath her brother's bedroom downstairs, the comatose brother. So then it kind of becomes a case of, how do we get out of here? How do we convince everybody that this is happening? And that's the story. Now, this film, it's okay, but ultimately I'm not sounding very enthusiastic about that there. It's just okay. It's nothing special. It doesn't do anything different. It's very, and I say this a lot, I find these days with movies, it's very by the numbers. It's just not very original. The route they go down, I think the route they go down in regards to like this curse and possession taking over the comatose son, I thought was quite interesting, and I really did enjoy his performance. I think he's got quite a lot of talent, this lad, from Gotham, even though quite a lot of the times he's comatose, but it gives a really very good performance. I thought that was very interesting, and then it just goes down the same old horror tropes by the end. And then it basically just becomes a remake again of the original Amityville. It just didn't give us anything different at the end, which disappointed me, because I was hoping it was going to maybe do something a little bit different, because I think it had that potential to, with the setup that we got, and there were some reasonably effective scares early on. It does the usual jump scare thing, and some of them are quite effective, but some of them are not necessary. But I think they had a couple of decent, clever ideas here. But it's clear that this has had studio fingerprints all over it, and it's become a bit of a jangled mess. And by halfway through, it's just lost its direction, and it just turns into, like I say, a paint by numbers horror movie that they followed the 101 horror guide by the letter by the end. Jennifer Jason Leigh's absolutely fine in the movie, but the character is just very generic. I think any actress could have played that role. I think they just chose her for her name. Kurtwood Smith was really only more than a cameo, but it was great to see him in a movie. The guy's a legend. And the lead character, I forget her name, who plays Belle, her real name is Belle Tome, that's it. Carries the movie particularly well, I thought. I think she gave quite a strong performance. So while this film isn't terrible, the production values are pretty good. The effects that we get are pretty good. The direction's okay, and the acting is good throughout. The story and the narrative lets it down, and it just falls into the same old Hollywood horror trope trap that we get so often today. And I think they kind of ruined what was quite an interesting start to a movie that just by the end became bog standard. Thanks for watching.